everyone, Kristen here with Will Travel for Vegan Food. I'm here today with Laura Collins from Pansy Maiden. It's a vegan handbag company in the Boston area. So Laura, can you tell us a little bit about how Pansy Maiden got started?
Yeah, sure. So I don't have any real experience, any training, professional training in design or business. I just sort of started making bags as a creative outlet from a job that wasn't that creative. So I discovered Etsy.com a few years ago, and I discovered artists making a living off of their goods. So I got really inspired, and so I thought, well, let me just try this just for fun, as kind of a hobby until I figure out where I want to go as far as a career. And I just started making bags, and it turned out to be something that I really, really loved, and people loved them, and I got really good feedback, so I just kept on going.
Nice. And how long ago was that?
Well, let's see. I started on Etsy in 2008, but I really launched Pansy Maiden in 2009.
Nice. Mm-hmm. And anything behind the name? How'd you come up with Pansy Maiden?
Pansy Maiden was my grandmother. Her maiden name was Maiden, so it was Pansy Maiden. Cool. And I just always liked her name, and unfortunately, I didn't get to know her that well. She passed away when I was pretty young, but I heard lots of awesome stories about her, and I just always wanted to use her name because it was so cool. Yeah. So it just seemed to work.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me about the vegan angle. Why did you decide to go with vegan bags? You are vegan yourself?
Yeah, I am vegan. I've been vegan for almost 2 years now. And before that, I was a vegetarian for 9 years. So when I started sewing, I knew that I did not want to work with leather or suede, just because it kind of grossed me out. So I thought that since I didn't want to do that, I wasn't going to do that. So I started to investigate how to make sure that my bags were vegan, because I wanted to call them vegan bags, but I know that vegans want truly vegan bags, obviously. Right. So in my research, I found out what I should and shouldn't use, like glues. Glues are not usually vegan unless you seek out a specific kind of glue that is. And in learning how to make my bags vegan, I learned a lot about veganism and how it pertains to our environment and how it's better for the environment, and also obviously for the animals and just for our health in general. So I really became very informed, and I decided to go ahead and try the veganism thing, and so that's what I've been doing. It took me about a year to transition, honestly, but yeah, now I feel better, and I think that it's just an awesome way to live.
Oh, I agree. How long does it take you to make a bag and then sell it and all that process?
Sure. It's really hard to quantify how long it takes to make a bag, because you spend so much in the design process, and I'm kind of always changing little things here and there to make them better and better and better. But and also if I'm using the cotton twill, I also wash the fabric, so there's the time that it takes to wash it and the time that it takes to iron it. But the whole process can vary between, for a small bag, 2 hours, to one of my more complicated bags, 6 hours. But I usually do it in a production manner, so I don't just make one at a time. I'll make 5 in the same color and in the same fabric, and just do that.
Cool. And how did you decide on what materials to use? What kind of research went into that, and how did you decide to go for the materials that you use versus the faux leathers, more traditional leather looking stuff? How does that process work?
Sure. Well, when I first started, I used mainly organic cotton twill, and it's a really great fabric. I've always thought more about sustainability than I have anything else. Well, veganism and sustainability. So that's why I started off with the cotton. I also like the cotton because it's machine washable, and twill is really thick and durable. It's kind of like a corded canvas. And I wanted my bags to be durable and be, fashion forward and practical. So it just made sense, because you could machine wash it, and it looks really good, and it doesn't really wrinkle, and it's really sturdy. And then I started to branch out into maybe fabrics that would last a little bit longer, because 100% cotton bag can kind of, it rubs against your body, so it may over time, like a year or two, start to wear in the corners or whatever. So I use wax canvas now too, because not only is it water resistant, but it's also coated with a paraffin-based oil, which makes it really, it'll last years and years and years. And then I coupled that with the Cordura for the inside, because it's also a water-resistant material that lasts for years and years and years. And I've also added some faux leathers and some faux suede that's made from recycled plastic bottles. And it was actually kind of a hard decision to make for me, because I know some people feel strongly they don't want to carry anything that could be mistaken as leather because they don't want to look like they're sponsoring that idea, or, you know, that they want to progress that idea. But I wanted to, you know, offer it to, because some of my customers were really interested in it. And I think that it works as a really nice bridge to someone who may not be a vegetarian or a vegan, but wants to try to start working towards being more environmentally friendly and be learning more about what makes leather bad, or you know what I mean? So I think it's a nice bridge.
Yeah.
And it's really, really durable. And I only use the best, most high quality versions of the fabrics that I use. So for instance, I won't use vinyl fake leather because it'll crack with cold weather, or if it gets rained on, it'll crack like pretty fast. So yeah.
Cool. And then how are the materials sourced? Do you get them in the US, or where do you actually pick them up from?
Sure. Well, I source them by researching on the internet a lot. It's that's also a difficulty that I face as a small company, is that distributors want to work with companies that will order like 1,000 yards of like the same color of the same fabric at a time, and I just can't do that. I just work out of my back bedroom here.
Right.
So I have to work with companies that will sell to me basically like dozens of yards at one time. So I find them on the internet, and some of them are U.S. based. For instance, the waxed canvas, the process to coat it with wax is called impregnation, and that happens in New Jersey. And it's also dyed in New Jersey. The faux leather, though, it comes out of Japan. It's hard to find, first of all, it's hard in general to find fabric that's still produced in the United States. Most of it's produced outside, in Pakistan or India, and the faux leathers in Japan, and even the organic stuff. And so you can find it that's made in the U.S., but it's really hard to find people that will work with a small company like myself. So until I get larger, the larger I get, the more I want to start working with just companies that source everything in the United States.
Cool. Well, maybe we can have a look around your little shop here. Yeah.
Sure, yeah. So I have hanging here my newest stuff. It's the wax canvas, and I don't have any faux leather. I actually went out today. Because I make everything made to order, so I don't necessarily have everything in stock at one time. So this is my most popular style. It's called the Weekender, and it's really great for like a carry-on when you're on an airplane. It's also really good. Women use it for a diaper bag because it's really huge, but yet it doesn't look like, you know, you're carrying rash cream or something. So.
I have one. Well, I don't use it as a diaper bag, but I really love mine.
Yeah. Or it just when, like, if you know you're going to be out all day in the city, then you have to carry a lot of stuff. But this is actually my newest style. It's called the Bang Messenger. It's based off of one of my bags that I make called the Bang. So I just made it into a messenger with a bigger flap. So this is kind of going over really well. So I'm happy with the way this turned out. So yeah, and then I have the mini messenger and the sugaree. And then this bag here is very versatile. It can be carried as a satchel or a backpack or a messenger.
Cool.
So yeah.
Can we take one down and look at it?
Yeah, sure. It is my Gabrielle satchel. And you can carry it by the handle just like this. It's also set up right now to be worn as a backpack. And if you wanted to, you could remove the strap from here and here, and then take this out of the equation, and then just attach it here and here, and carry it as a messenger.
Cool.
And this is, again, it's water resistant because of the waxed canvas. And the waxed canvas is really cool too because it varnishes like leather, so it looks different. You know, when you carry it, it gets kind of varnished, and it just keeps on looking better and better as you use it. And this is where I cut the material. This is my self-healing mat where I use a rotary cutter. Cut everything here, and any surface area is just kind of where I place things after I cut them and whatever. This is my ironing board here. I know, glamorous ironing board. It's a towel on a table. This is these are my stock here of bags that are not wax canvas. So it's all my 100% cotton twill ones, the ones that can be machine washed. Beyond that rack is my material. So I try to offer a lot of different colors because, you know, some people like bright, some people like dark, some people like neutrals.
Right.
But I am going to start actually paring down my 100% regular cotton canvas colors in the next year or so. So
okay, so get on it if you want one of those.
Yeah, because once I run out of colors right now, it's probably not going to order anymore. This over here is where I have, this fabric here has all been cut, and if it's cotton, it's been washed, and it's ready for me to just grab and start cutting into pieces. over here on the top left is my shipping department. It's where I keep my boxes and my labels and such. And I also keep my hardware here in these little drawers. So I have my, adjustable strap slides and my lobster clips and my tongue clasps. All the lingo. Yeah, so, that's pretty much the tour there.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for taking time out to talk with us
Thank
today.
you for having me. It's been fun.
And if anyone wants to reach you, where should they go?
My website, which is www.pansymaiden.com.
Nice.
Yeah.
Great. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
What is that face?
You were looking at me, and I was like, "Why are you looking at me?"
I didn't look at. I looked at you when you were like this.
We'll travel for vegan food.